Alright, so we are waiting to be... Miss Lori is finishing up. And I am pulling myself up. Hey there, Miss Mary. How are you doing, dear? Getting myself shared to all the places. While we wait for Miss Carla to come on and share us out into the group. So we are in Craft Events by Julie today, and I am helping to fill a spot. I am doing well, thank you. How are you doing? I'm going to have a very angry cat here in a little bit. But I am doing well. We're just waiting. Miss Lori was finishing up. And this is what my desk looks like. This is what my desk looks like. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Stormy. Taking up Mommy's desk. Mommy's gotta work. She's gonna be so mad. So we're going to make just some little mini notepads today, or mini journals, however you want to call them. Thank you, Miss Carla. I appreciate it, dear. So this is my beautiful Stormy. This is my special cat. Yeah, this is my baby. And she knows it. But I'm gonna need you to get off of Mommy's desk because Mommy has to work. Okay? Yeah? She's getting old. You can see it in her waistcoat. I know, we can see it in your waistcoat. But the event that we are in is a crafter's choice, and so we're going to make some little mini journals, some mini booklets. And so I have a few like scrap pieces of paper that we're going to use for this purpose. And if we have time, we can work on some what are they called? On some ATC cards. Okay. Let me go get my paper because I have it. Hey, Miss Melanie, because I have it being squished. So let me go grab that right quick. So I've gone ahead Yes, Miss Trudy. It is called Glossy Accents. Glossy Accent by Ranger. That is what I use. Yeah, Miss Melanie, that is my beautiful Stormy. And she is definitely something else. She is definitely something else. Yeah, let me grab that so you guys can see what it looks like. Because I actually have it hanging up on my door. But look, I mean, you can tell off the bat, look at how shiny where we added that is. Isn't that super cute? And see, you have the texture here. So, yeah, really, really neat. It came out really, really good. I'm very happy with how it came out. Thank you. Yes, she is so pretty. Thank you, Miss Carla. Alright, so you like it, Miss Trudy? I know, it's awesome, isn't it? So these are, and I'm noticing that these two are like super thick, but okay. So I had these being squashed in my really large cutting press because it has a plate that holds the book down when I'm cutting it. So I was using it to actually press these down. So we're gonna work with these, and like I said, and we have some scraps here that we're gonna use as well. And all we're going to do is we're going to make some little tiny little booklets. Nothing like super crazy or anything like that, but just a fun little thing that we can do. Hello there, Miss Julie. You like how it came out, Miss Carla? I think it came out really good. Now, the pages are a little uneven. You know, if you really don't like that, you can always cut your pages even from your signatures. To me, it gives it character. I really like the old books that have the pages that have been like torn and are like, you know, not all the same size. So I don't mind this, but I know some people don't like it. So you can totally, you know, put this down and you can cut these and trim these off to where they would be all even, but it's not necessary. Now, this piece of paper I think is more than what I need. So, yeah, I knew it was going to be way more than what I needed. So I'm actually going to trim a little bit off, and then we're going to score. So I'm just going to trim a little tiny bit off of this one. So up after me is Miss Renee from DIY. Wait a second. Rustic Daisies DIY with Renee. So that's who's up after me. Hi, Miss Lori. It's so good to see you. And you know what's even better? That I get to see you very soon. That's the best part of it all. Is that I get to see y'all so soon. That makes my little heart happy. Hey, Miss Krista, how are you doing, dear? I hope you are doing well. Thank you for releasing the butterflies and for sprinkling and you know, all the things. It does mean a lot. So right now I'm just working on these little mini covers. It's driving you bonkers. Ha 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 ha. I was actually telling Gare that after I pick up the car tomorrow, I was like, I have to come home and sleep. And he's like, yes, you do. I was like, I have to come home and sleep. So. Because I got a good bit of driving I gotta get done. Well, but you need your sleep. Okay, you need your sleep, Miss Lori. We all need to get our sleep so we can be rested, especially because you're doing a drive. You know, I'm doing a drive. Like, we're all doing a drive, so we definitely need our rest for sure. And for those of you who may be like, what are these ladies talking about? I am hosting a retreat, and these lovely ladies are coming to the retreat. So I am, needless to say, very, very excited because I get to love on them and hug on them and all the things. Hey, Miss Wendy. Hi, friend. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. I hope that and pray that life is treating you well, my friend. There is way too much going on to not be loving on everybody. Just way too much. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. That's all that matters. I am glad to hear that you are doing great. That makes me very happy. Hopefully, work has not been driving you too bonkers. And yeah, that's uneven, and I'll get it cut here in a bit. Ah! Now you know that that is so not true. Oh. I know that when I come to Seattle next year for the Alaska cruise, if you can't come on that, I hope to at least be able to see you when I'm there. Well, that is as wonky as can be. Alright, we'll figure it out. Okay. So these are just, for a Monday it's kind of dead. Well, then that might be a good thing. So all this is some old ruled school paper and some hymnal pages that I've cut down to fit into these little covers that we were just trimming down. Okay. And we're going to utilize, because it is a one signature, okay, we will be able to utilize our really cool gadget from We Are Memory Keepers. Well, I would love if you could join us. That'd be so much fun. I love cruising. that's just me. I love to cruise. I think it is so much fun. Actually, I'm not going to cut this. I am not going to cut this because I just thought about how cool it would be, other than I have to straighten this out because it's so wonky. I'm going to trim it down and make it into a side tuck. That is what we're going to do. Yes. Oh, Miss Krista, I still need to, whenever you're ready for you to send me your form, we can start looking at things. I'd love for you to join. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, and we've turned this extra piece into a side tuck, which I think is pretty cool. I know, I love cruising. I think it's just one of the best ways to travel, honestly. I understand. Well, as long as whatever name you book him under is going to be the same number, that the same name and birthday, that, you know, make sure that they match. All of that's good, because you can always add the passport info afterwards. Because add somebody else, they have to renew their husband's passport too. What's up with these husbands and not having valid passports? Like, get with the program, y'all. Alright, so because this is a one signature, we can very easily use our tool here, our little cradle, because it will hold everything down for us to puncture. And biggest thing is we want to make sure that we're going to have holes that are going to be, you know, within our, so if you need to move it up or down, so that you can make sure that you have holes that are going to be where they can hold all the papers. Okay, then you're going to use your owl or a pokey tool, and we're going to make our holes. And I'm just going to make 3. So top, bottom, and then 1 in the middle to hold the pages in. Okay. And I just lost the thing. Alright, so this is what we have. Now we're going to come with a needle and thread, and I like to use a dull needle. Hey, Miss Kim, how you doing? I like to use a dull needle, okay, and that way that way you're not tearing more into your paper, okay? And anytime you're sewing in a signature, you're going to want to have at least about 3 times it. That is called a book bind. That is book binding something. But it is from We Are Memory Keepers. I can I can link it in my on my page once I'm done. And I'm using wax thread. I pick up my wax thread at the Hobby Lobs in the jewelry or leather section. And try not to get the really thicker one. It just tends to mess a little bit more. Oh. Well, it not, you know, many times when you put like bookbinding kit, all you're going to get is like the owl, the needle, the thread, that kind of stuff. Hey, Miss Renee, how are you doing, dear? Miss Renee is up after me. So it depends. But yeah, I can definitely link it. And I'm working on creating one because this is great for single signatures. But I'm actually working, and I'll be able to finish it once I'm back, on a book cradle, and I'll be cutting it out of my laser, that you can sit a book that will have 2 to 3 spines, 2 to 3 signatures on your spine, because you know the spine is wider, and that way it'll be able to sit and you can do what you need to do. So I'm just going to double knot this just to make sure that it doesn't, you know, go anywhere. And cut off the excess. I always would rather have more thread than not enough. Believe me, I've done the mistake to not have enough, and it's not fun. Alright, and so now this I will actually go and put under my press again, just so that it can like push everything down, hold everything down. And it's just a little notebook pad for you to write things down on. And I think I am going to round these corners. Can ink this. Maybe I'll add a sticker to it on the front. All the things. All of the things. So let me see. Let me get some ink. Ink. Oh, I don't know if this will be the right ink, but we'll use this one. So normally when I cut my like 12 by 12s down, I tend to have pieces of paper left over, and so this is a good way to use those scraps, and you can make a little note. Good. And these can fit inside of a journal, like in a pocket or something, you know, depending on how thick you make them. And I'm actually debating because what I'm going to do, because tomorrow I have my nail appointment before I go pick up the vehicle for the trip. So I'm debating on what I'm probably gonna do something floral, just because that way it'll go with the theme of our journals, since our journal is all for the retreat, it's all floral garden themed, you know. So I might do something like that. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. And again, if you don't like to have the uneven edges and you want them all to be exactly the same, you can trim it to make them all even. And trim them once you have them folded for your signature. Okay? That way you can ensure that they'll be even. So there's one down. Alright, this was the next one that I had. So we're going to bring another piece of paper in here. Alright, this will probably be best if we just cut it. Only because there's not enough there to really do justice with it. You've been waiting a long time for your turn, Miss Renee. That's funny. That is so funny, my dear. Oh, I did reply to you. I need to send you a PM. You asked a question about the Alaska cruise, and I did see it, and I told you I needed to PM you. And then I was getting ready, and of course I forgot. Sorry, my sister called to make sure that you got a tire and remind me to bring my trash can to the road, which you totally forgot. See, it's always good to have somebody that looks out for you. Yes, send me a message with them, please. I would love that. Okay, again, owl, and we're just doing 3. Okay, so one at the top to make sure we hold everything in, one at the bottom, and then one at the middle. So when you're using the 3, this is called a pamphlet stitch, this type of sewing, because you know it's normally like for pamphlet. If you do not like to sew, these are small enough that you could fit it into a stapler and just staple. Okay, so that is an option as well, because I know that not everybody feels comfortable with the sewing part, but yes, you can do this. Hey, Miss Verilyn, how are you doing, my sweet friend? You can staple these because, again, this is something that's small enough that depending on how many pages you add on the inside, this will easily fit inside of a journal. So it's like a little mini notepad inside of a journal. Does that make sense? A journal within a journal. And I'm starting again in the middle, making sure to hold some of my tail, right? Going up through the top, down through the bottom, it comes out the back, and then up through the middle, and this will complete. And now we just have to sew. Now we just have to tie. Okay. Oh, that's perfectly fine. That'll work, Miss Kim. Thank you. Okay. So 1 knot, and always want to, now I twist inward, okay, but I don't tie there. I bring my tail through it again, okay, to make sure that I have a strong knot. Alright, so you just want to make sure that when you're doing your knot that it's not going to come apart. So doing it where you go, you know, through the circle a few times to tighten it really does help. And so like this one, I'm doing 3 times. And tight. And then we cut. And then again, I'm going to take these, and if you don't have a press, because you know you can go out and buy a book press, you don't have to, just put these under a big stack of heavy books. Okay, so like if you have encyclopedias, you know, those things that are really big and heavy, put these under a few stacks of those, and that'll help with making sure that you get them nice and flat. Okay, and I just realized that that is a little bit longer than it should be. But see how it's got a little bit more? It'll be alright, because if not, then we lose too much of the fairies. Alright, so that's another one. Alright, so just plain paper. You can use double-sided paper, of course. And then this one, it was longer, so we folded a part in and cut it to make a little pocket. A few different ways, okay? And then you can always add stuff on top of this. Alright, this one is really cool. This one is supposed to look like an old book. So let's make sure we have that in there. Hello, hello, Miss Bonnie. Thank you for the sprinkles. I appreciate it. So I am just using scraps of 12 by 12s that I had left over, and some other papers, and I just trimmed them down, and we're just making some little mini notebooks or notepads that you can add. You know, you can, they're small enough that you can tuck these into a pocket of a journal. You know, or you can have it in your purse, and you can have it to write down phone numbers or grocery list, addresses, if people do that anymore. Yes, I try to. The one for Seattle, the one that's leaving out of Seattle, the biggest reason why that one is when it is because, you know, Alaska, you can only go certain months out of the year. So that one I didn't have much of a choice. But like the one going out of NOLA, which is Halloween of next year, that's considered off-season. The one that I'm looking at for February of 2028, February is considered off-season. So I personally prefer off-season. The board is from We Are Memory Keepers. It is a book binding guide. And it's really helpful for doing signatures. I struggle to use it to do a hardcover. Like soft covers, no problem. Hard covers, that's a whole nother story. That one I struggle to use that with, which is why I'm trying to make a book cradle that I can use for when I have hard signatures in it. Alright, so I'm using black with this one. 1, 2, 3, just because of the dark tone of the book. Oh yeah, I prefer to go on off seasons because it is cheaper. Like I said, but when I was looking into Alaska, you only got certain months you can go. So there's really no technical off season for them because there's only a specific season. Alright, so again, we're going to go down the middle, up the top, down through the bottom one, and then back up the middle. Now the other thing is I try to make this to be in the middle, so the tail that I'm holding towards me, and the one that I'm pulling away. So that middle piece is going to be in the middle. So when I'm tightening it, I'm tightening that as well. Okay? So see how that is in the middle of the 2 strings? So that now when I go to tighten and knot my strings, that is going to be in the middle. 3 weeks with your in-laws. Your father-in-law was where? Oh, wow. That had to have been really cool. Yeah. An Alaskan cruise has definitely been one of my bucket list things to do. So when I was looking at cruises out of the West Coast, I was like, yeah, we'll do that one. So my hubby will be with me because, like I said, it is a bucket list for us. Not sure yet if he's gonna go to the one out of New Orleans. We shall see. Oh, yes, you were definitely up there where it's gonna be cold. Yeah, I was talking with somebody and they're like, do you think I need to take, like, what should I pack for Alaska? And I'm like, look, it's gonna be cold. I know it's June, but it's gonna be cold. It's Alaska we're talking about. You know, it's not like we're going to the Caribbean. I mean, I know it's some of their warmer time, and that's why we can go, but at the same time, it ain't warm. You drive? So this one, look at how cool this one's got. Look, the little like metal clasp to it. I think that one's pretty neat. Again, all of these I'm going to put under some weight to get them to sit better. Okay, so here's another one. Again, this one had some extra. Hey, Miss Kimmy! So this one had some extra, so I just folded it. And I'm going to glue the top and the bottom. So this becomes a tuck. Oh, really, Miss Krista? Well, that'll be nice then. That'll be nice if it's nice weather when we go. It depends on what you think is cold. Yeah, that is true too. That is true too. I know that I would not survive living up north. I am not used to the cold. Oh, okay. Got a few years before you go. That makes sense though, to try to plan a big trip like that to like Disneyland or for something, and for it to be, you want to do when they remember. I agree. Dress in layers, yes. Dress in layers, I agree about that part, because you know, you can always take stuff off. You can always put stuff on. Okay, so this one now has a little tuck here, so you can slide a little card in there or something. I am going to round my corners because y'all know I prefer my corners to be rounded. And let's get our next little stack of papers here. We ate at a restaurant and had a hamburger, and they asked me if I wanted to run it through the garden. They were talking about basically what it was is they wanted to know if you wanted lettuce, tomatoes. Oh, yeah, you asked me, do I want it to run it through the garden? I don't know what you're talking about. You're hoping it snows? I'm not hoping it snows. People don't know how to drive when it snows over here. They be acting all retarded. So no, I really hope it does not snow for us this year. Alright, so again, I'm doing top, bottom, and the middle. Top, bottom, and the middle. I don't know, I've heard that you can find some very interesting meats up that way. One, two, three. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll get to try something exotic. I'm always down for trying something. I'll sample it. Don't mean I'll like it, but I'll definitely sample something. My dad always taught us, you know, to at least try something, because you never know if you'll find your new favorite. So whenever we got new foods, even as kids, we had to at least try it. We didn't always have to eat it, but we had to at least try it. Alright, so I went down the middle, out the back, up the top. Now we're going to go down the bottom. And again, I'm still holding my tail to one side. And now I'm going to go up the middle again. This time making sure that I'm going away from the middle string there so that we can tie these. I love salmon. I absolutely love salmon, and I hated it because I found out it's one of the foods that I'm quote unquote slightly allergic to. Salmon and bok choy. So, but I still eat salmon. I still eat the salmon. Because I'm like, no, it is so good. Like, seriously. I love seafood. Always have, always will. So again, just going through the loop a few times to make sure that I'm getting a nice strong knot. We're tightening it. And cutting it. Miss Krista, did you print the digitals yet? Did everybody print the digitals for next for the weekend? I'll say for next week. It's this week. What am I talking about? Okay. So now this one has a pocket where you could tuck something in if you wanted to. See? So we have that one. This one is just regular, same as this one. And then this one was a longer strip, so we made it into a full-fledged little pocket. And again, all of these are going to go under some pressure to hold them down and make them flat. And if you don't have a book press, just get a stack of really heavy books for this kind of stuff. Alright. Now, I don't know that... That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that this was going to be short. It is going to be short. But that is okay. We are going to fix that. So, have a strip of paper that's too short? Not a problem. We're going to find another piece and we're going to layer it and make it tall enough. Okay, so I don't want to cover that too much, so I'm actually going to bring this over here and I'm just going to glue this. They make great little gifts. They make great little gifts. Again, it's something that you can add into a journal. It's a great way to use up scraps. You can make these of all sizes based off of what scraps you have. Right? So you base yourself off of the scraps that you have. And you build some of these. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. These would be great little teacher's gifts. Yes. I agree. It would make great little teacher's gifts. Maybe if you have like a shower, something like that, those would be great for that as well. So definitely. Okay, so again, all we're doing is we're using our scraps, right? That's the whole purpose of this craft today, is like, what am I gonna do with all those scraps? Some are really pretty papers. Because I know, I'm like, I have all these pretty papers. Okay, so I'm just going to trim down, and let's make this side as straight as possible. I'm going to do it this way, actually. Did I have a good weekend? Oh, I'll have, yeah. My weekend was good. My weekend's been good so far. So far, so good. So far, so good. Yes. Let's see, how tall do we need this? Okay. So, kind of glued this somewhat wonky, so I'm just going to try to straighten this bottom layer a little bit. And then let's trim this down. my very, very technical measurement here. Very technical measurement. What is coming? What is the coming week bringing you? It's bringing me. I get to see her and pick her up on Wednesday. That's what the week. That's what the week is bringing her. It's bringing me. It's bringing her me. That's what she's getting. So hopefully it's a good thing. Because she's getting me. So hopefully it's a good week. You know I have to mess with you, Miss Carla. So yeah, so I will be in Oklahoma Wednesday night through Saturday. Through Sunday. What am I talking about? And then I will be back. So that's the biggest reason why I haven't I'm not signed up for a lot of stuff, is because I won't be here. Good. I'm glad to hear that. That you think it'll be a fantastic week. Alright, so again, we're just gonna layer our little papers, put them through our little press here. Ooh, which I think I have these pages all kind of wonky. Gotta make sure that I have everything packed, so that's what one of the things I'll be working on tonight while I'm kitty sitting, because I have the night shift. I'll be making sure I have everything packed, all the things. And then this one, we'll do pink on this one too. It'll be fine. So look at that. 1, 2, 3. So again, this is a cute little growing. I weighed her last night and she is 383 ounces, 383 grams. When we got her, she was 170. She is eating. We got her a little playpen, which she is adoring now because she gets to move around more than in the box that we had her. So same thing, down the middle, up the top. She is spoiled rotten. Down the bottom, out the back, and then up the middle again. But yeah, she's spoiled. That's all I can say. And she's only gonna be more spoiled. She's only gonna get more spoiled. The rest of the cats are not quite sure what to make out of her yet. They're curious and they come and sniff and all the stuff, but the moment she makes noises, they're out. They're out like a lightning. You don't see them. So hopefully as she gets bigger and stronger and we're able to let her out a little bit more, she'll be able to interact with the other cats. Stormy, I don't know how she's gonna act. Stormy's special. She's my cat, but boy is she special. Very funny. Caroline says that's her kitty. Because she's wanting another kitten, but we shall see. We shall see, because, you know, when she picks her human, we shall see how that goes. So see, so we had a piece that wasn't long enough. We added another piece of scrap that we had, and we're able to make a cute little design. So look at this. Look, we were able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done, and I still have a few more pieces that we can work on. So super cool. I love it. I think they came out really cute. Such a thing as reincarnation, I would want to be one of you would be spoiled. You would get to hang out with me here in the craft room. You know, all the things. Have your own designated little areas, like this one over here. So, yeah. Because, you know, gotta love our kitties, gotta spoil them. That's just how it goes. Right? That is just how it goes. So this one right here, we can trim it down. Now we have 7. With little Kiba, now that puts us at 7. 7 cats. That we have. We love our babies. What can I tell you? We love, love, love our babies. Yeah, we had 6, and we were not going to get any more. At least that's what Gary was like. We're not going to get any more until, you know, one of these ends up passing away or something, because we do have some that are older. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. Alright, so this one, I have enough, so I'm actually going to turn this into pockets. Hey, Miss Chandra! How are you doing, dear? So make sure that you stay tuned, because up after me will be Miss Renee from DIY Crafts by Renee. And I hope that you guys have liked the idea of this scrap buster, of using up those pretty papers that we all tend to accumulate, and that way you can turn them into these cute little notebooks, right? I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that, my friend. And yes, Miss Julie, I was glad that I could help out today. So I mean, I hadn't signed up for anything for this week, just because I wanted to make sure that I didn't overextend myself, but when I saw you needed help, I was like, oh, it's Crafter's Choice. We can do something with that. We can do something with that. So, and I was like, that's easy enough. So again, here I'm going to put my glue on the sides, and these will become little tuck spots. And then we're going to sew in the signature. So make sure that you stay in Craft Events by Julie. Up after me is Miss Renee from DIY, from Rustic Daisies DIY, with Renee. Make sure that you stick around to see what she's going to create. And like I said, this one I will sew it in like I've done the rest of them. And this is what we were doing. We were doing little, you know, using up scraps of paper and turning them into these little journal like little journal notebooks, if you want to look at it that way. So super fun, super easy, great way to use your scraps up, you know, whatever you may have hanging around. I know, I love to junk journal too, so what best way to use up scraps? Thank you so much for being here. I hope that something like this, like I said, it's small, it's a great little gift, perfect to fit into a pocketbook, and I just hope that you guys like the idea and are inspired to try it out and use up those scraps that we all tend to have. So I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Some of you I get to see in person very soon. So I love you, and until I see you guys again,